part of my plan to move here is, I'm not saying to get away, but in a way, independence kind of lets me be and do my own thing.
But you see, here, you've said the word, and we so love you introducing it here. Independence from negative attention. Independence from resistant thought. But we so want you to hear, you don't have to move away to find that independence. You just have to get clear about what you're doing. In other words, when you're in the vortex and someone isn't believing in you, you don't take it personally, because you know they don't know. You only take it personally when you're not in the vortex, you see. So the independence that you're reaching for, it's not independence from negative parents, and it's not independence from their response to you. It's independence from the patterns of thought that hold you out of the vortex. It's independence from your own out of the vortex thoughts that you seek. Ooh, rest with that for a minute. I'm seeking independence from my own habit of thought. That's what you're seeking independence from. So how do you seek independence? In the same way that you can't make your father stop thinking about you, you can't all of a sudden find independence from your own thought. It's not going to happen. Law of attraction's got you corralled in there with those thoughts. So what's the best thing you can do? Start deactivating them, which, let's say it like it is, start making them general, making them general, making them general, making them general. The way you find independence from hindering thoughts about real people that are doing real things, but it's not what your father is doing or saying, it's what you think about what your father is doing or saying that has got you out of the vortex. You could be in the vortex and he could be saying everything in the world to try to coerce you, and if you're in the vortex, you're not feeling it at all. You see, so it's not independence from your father that you are seeking. It's independence from your own habit of thought about what your father is thinking. So you got to make that general. So you got that, didn't you? So you got to make that general. You make it general by saying things like, nobody loves me more. He really means well. He's standing out there with the pile of hardworking people who have struggled their way into their success, and he just wishes the best for me. He just doesn't know what I know. And I am not going to disappoint him. It's in the long run going to really pay off. I'm going to be one of those people that's going to be giving an interview years from now, and I'm going to be talking about the beginning briefly, because I will have learned from Abraham by now not to go too deep into that. about how in the beginning no one believed, but I didn't care about what they thought because I knew what I wanted. I know that I have everything that is necessary. All I have to do is line up with it. I'm going to deactivate any thoughts that are contradictory to that. In other words, it could be a negative thought about the current market. It could be a negative thought about so much reality TV taking away from the business. It could be a negative thought about the economy in general. It could be a negative thought about your father. You cannot quell or move away from all those negative thoughts. You're going to move right into the heart of a whole lot of negative thoughts. You've got to claim your independence from those negative thoughts by finding your alignment with what's in your vortex, you see. And you don't do it all at once. You just do it one step at a time. You feel perfectly clear. As you sit here and listen to us, knowing what we know about what's in your vortex, there's no question in your mind, because there's no question in our mind about where you're going and what's ahead for you. In other words, it's a done deal. You're already pregnant.
Wonderful. Is that possible?
You know what we mean. In other words, the seeds have already been sown and they've already been fertilized, and they're in the vortex, and all cooperative components are being gathered, you see. And all you have to do is be consistently enough there, and you can tell by the way you feel whether you are or not. And when you find yourself feeling fearful, know you're out of the vortex and you want to deactivate whatever thought it was that made you afraid. You know when you feel guilty that you're out of the vortex, and you want to deactivate the thought. So this deactivation, we've been telling you for a long time, you cannot deactivate a thought, because when you try to deactivate the thought that you're trying to deactivate, you activate it, but you can make it more general. You can. So my parents mean well. They mean well. They just don't know what they're doing. And they really don't know about the laws of the universe. And there are so many people that have been struggling, and I can understand how they would like me to too, but I know too much now. I know about my vortex, and it's going to be, everything is coming around for me. And meanwhile, I'm willing to do whatever is necessary for me to maintain my independence. In other words, I don't mind. There's a lot of things that I can do in order to keep myself financially moving along here while this gestation period, that our friend is pregnant. We promise you she's not just sitting around being pregnant. When somebody says to her, what are you doing? She says, I'm hosting my fetus. Want to take a walk? No, I'm busy. I'm being pregnant. The gestation is going on. What are you doing? Gestating. It's sort of, I'm incubating. I'm incubating. Well, what else? Nothing. I'm just doing that. That's already underway. She's done all she needs to do. It's done. There's nothing else she needs to do. There's nothing else she needs to do. The cooperative components are all taking care of that. There isn't anything else that she needs to do except just stay in that place and feel as good as she can feel. And the same is true for every one of you who has all kinds of things in your vortex.
How do you stay in that place when there's a timeline and
by
there's
caring
things...
about it so much that every time a little thought comes that you know from past experience has the potential of taking you out, you don't go. In other words, can you see how real life, parental influence and even far beyond them, how that life and your observation of it has trained your vibration to a certain vibrational expectancy? All right, is that a good way to say it? Life has trained your vibration to a certain level of expectancy. And it's a level of expectancy that often says you can't have what you want. Well, we want to put it to you in a way that you can really hear it. Over here in your vortex is what you want, incubating, becoming, evolving. And this vortex will train you to the frequency of it if you just get in and stay for a while and get in and stay for a while and get in and stay for a while. You don't have to get in and stay in. Just get in and milk it. Just get in and milk it. Just get in and milk it. And before you know it, the vortex will have trained you significantly enough that those thoughts outside the vortex will feel really freaky to you. So that when your father says, you know, you're still not working, and you're standing in the vortex, you don't feel offended and you don't feel like you need to justify. You're just in the vortex because the vortex has you at that frequency, and you say, everything's okay. Everything's great. You're just going to love the outcome of this. I have so much to tell you, but I can't tell you now. Just hang in there. It's going to be great. You're just going to love it. I'm not kidding you. I'm not making this up. This is real, Dad. 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 Hello? This is real, Dad. That's the way it happens, you see.